What's up? This is Vince Carter. You're listening to the 3-Point Conversion. Check it out.
The third quarter, things changed. What all went into
we pushed them to try to get in the paint attack. I thought we took care of the ball in the third, but we got into the paint, and that gave us, I think, not only rim opportunities, but also opened us up for some threes and shot the ball well. But the defense was key.
talked about the hard act mentality and the plays, Joe Harris, Patty Mills. How has that been contagious throughout you, and how has that helped the team overall? That mentality, extra.
I think ever since Blake joined us, he went from an all-star player for the most part in his career to a role player with us, and he accepted it and I think attacked that role. And so it's been amazing to see him. We saw it against Milwaukee in the playoffs, but his ability to throw his body around, take charges, rebound, set good screens, do all the little things has been outstanding. And I think we're recognizing that our group has to be that way this year. We're not just going to outscore people. So I think the guy's willingness to fight and compete and do it together has been very key to our season thus far.
Hey, Coach. You had 6 players in double figures scoring, and then you also played strong on defense. I think you had 27 assists. Is this kind of an embodiment of the way you want this team to play? Just fluid on offense, competitive on defense, and then when it comes down to it, having your 2 stars hitting shots that matter.
Yeah, I mean, take away, I think, 3 offensive rebounds in the first quarter that led to layups. The defense was really strong. In the second, we had some slippage. I think that was down to turnovers. They got out and ran, got easy baskets. So, the turnovers and the offensive rebounds again were an issue. Offensively, there were pockets of play where we were really happy with it. We still have to push to play that way naturally and from start to finish. But that was a team that makes it very difficult to play the way we want to play. They're long and athletic. They can junk up the game. They can switch everything. They can go zone. They can match up. They can trap. They're great at scrambling. And so you have to be sharp. You have to be sharp. So I thought tonight, obviously we made some shots, but, we're really sharp just with our intent and purpose offensively for stretches. And that's what got us through.
Hey, Steve, was this the best that you have seen James at getting into the paint so far this year? And could you see his early success at penetration building his confidence, especially by the fourth quarter?
Yeah, for sure. I thought in the first half he didn't give himself enough credit. I thought he had opportunities to attack more, and I tried to, implore him to go and to be aggressive. And I thought in the second half he was excellent. So it's in this game, the Atlanta game, games when he gets to the paint, he can really cause a lot of problems for the defense.
Steve, what, if anything, does it mean to you to get the win here in Canada as your first visit here as an NBA head coach?
That means a lot. This is a very special place for me. Not obviously Canada, but Toronto. I've spent, so much of my time here. I have so many close friends, relationships, and memories in the city. I have a lot of admiration for the Raptors organization and Nick Nurse. So to get a win here is special for me. And I think this is a really tough team here in Toronto, and have great fans, great place to play. And so for me, this is definitely a sweet one.
Hey, Steve, I think tonight was Kevin Durant's third game with 25, 5 and 5 at least, and fourth 30-point game this season. What are you seeing from him, especially because, I think the previous time he was on this court was when he got hurt in the finals against the Raptors. So to go from there to the way he's playing now, what are you seeing in Durant?
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about this was the scene of the catastrophe, so to speak. And but Kevin's, like we've said since day one, he's been unbelievable this season, both ends of the floor, rebounding, scoring, facilitating. And I think that that's under a team that's trying to find itself. So, I think we can even make things a little bit easier for him at times, but that'll take time, as we keep saying, as we figure out how to find this identity that we're pushing them for. And that's a process, but that doesn't detract seemingly ever from how elite he is, how efficient he is, and how well-rounded he is.
Alex. Hey, Steve. LaMarcus obviously wasn't scoring a lot today, but he had 5 assists. Just what do you see from him from a playmaking perspective?
Just a smart player. He has a feel for the game. He's able to do some things defensively with his intelligence and experience. He's able to play make. At times he knows how to facilitate, at least keep the offense moving. So, I think there's a lot of experience that goes along with just his shot making ability. So tonight he helped us, even though he wasn't making shots the way we're accustomed to him making them.
You already said that the Raptors make it tough on you offensively to run what you want to run, but when they have those really long switchable groups out there, those groups specifically, how do those really make it tough for your guys to get into the directions?
I think the tendency sometimes when you have long defenders and they're well coached, they play in the gaps and they put doubt in your mind, is you can get stagnant, you can get stationary and static, and that just feeds into their length and their defense. So, it's important not to allow that to slow you down.
Last question, Chris.
Hey, Coach. You went with DeAndre Bembry for a long stretch down there in the fourth quarter. I'm just, what have you seen from him, and what was able to work for him against the Raptors tonight?
He just plays hard. He's long and athletic for us. He flies around, plays with great energy, and offensively, he's a willing screener and cutter. And defensively, we know he can be disruptive. So, he's just a wild card for us in that respect, that he can do a lot of different things out on the floor and be a net positive. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Kevin, what changed for you guys in the third quarter?
Man, I think we were definitely on the string and cut down the turnovers during the third. I mean, this team thrives off of getting steals, so they got 23 points off our 7 turnovers, and that was a huge part of their game. That's what they've been doing all season. So I think we kept the ball in our hands in that third, and you're seeing how efficient our offense was.
Heading in, did you give any thought to what happened the last time you were in this building?
No, not at all. I just was more so thinking about Nick Nurse and the type of coach he is and how he guards me, and the schemes and adjustments they make throughout a game is pretty impressive, but as an opposing player, it can keep you up at night, but I was more so thinking about that, but I had some great memories in Toronto. I love playing in Toronto. The fans have been amazing to me. The last time I was here was one of my lowest moments as a basketball player, but it's good to come back here and play and see the fans and get a W.
From that low moment to now, what part of your journey, recovery, where your game is, are you most proud of?
I'm proud of all the people that's, sacrificed their time to help me through, this long period, this tough period, because I was a burden on a lot of people mentally. You never knew how I was going to approach the day, but so many people, took their time with me and helped me through this, and I'm just proud that they stuck with me, and obviously I was going to do the work, but they made sure I was doing the right work. So I appreciate everybody that was there for me.
Kevin, you guys have had 2 huge third quarter performances in a row. And today you had 13 points by yourself in the third quarter. What triggers that kind of performance coming out of the halftime when you've had a chance to digest what's going on?
Yeah, we look at the film and we see where we can make adjustments and how our offense can be better and flow a little better. And I think we were playing in the crowd too much. That's why we turned the ball over. I had 7 turnovers tonight from playing in the crowd too much. And I think that was, we slowed that down in the third quarter and was able to get good shots up, and we made them. So I think our defense was there when we needed it to be. And, we got stops and made shots, and, James was special there in the fourth. Patty was special, pushed us over the top.
Kevin, this is your third straight game with 25, at least 25, 5 and 5. And you've had 30, I think, 4 times this season. You were just talking about how the last time you were on this court, it was like a low moment in your career. Do you feel like you are back to where you were before then? Or I know you always say you're striving for excellence, or do you feel like maybe you're above that or getting better than that?
I mean, I'm a different player. I mean, having an injury like that is going to make you a different player. I just think it's another iteration of who I am, I guess. You know, I wouldn't try to compare it to who I was back then, but you know, I feel like I'm still growing, I'm still getting better, and I'm in a good place mentally. So that's all that matters.
Hey Kevin, in terms of Scotty Barnes, can you tell me what you saw from him tonight in terms of his competitiveness that he brings to the court and just the will to win? And is that at all rare for rookies in this league?
No, I think it's rare. I mean, you got a lot of guys who love to compete and love to win. And but what's more rare about Scotty Barnes is his IQ for the game, his length, you know, his enthusiasm for the game. All of that stuff shines bright when you watch him play, and you know, you could tell he just want to be there for his teammates. He makes winning basketball plays. But I think a lot of young guys in the league had that competitive fire, but he has something a little extra as far as just seeing the game a little slower, you know, and that's rare for a guy. How old is he? 19, 20? I mean, sheesh. You know, he knows how to play the right way, and he's only going to get better.
Hey, Kevin, you talked about how James was, special in the fourth. I think he might have had 16. Could you tell that he was, in your mind, was this the best that he has been this year at getting to the rim or getting into the paint? And could you see him getting more confident as the game was going on in his ability to penetrate and get to the rim?
Yeah, you can see it. I mean, he was getting to the rim and driving by guys and making plays for others and getting offensive rebounds and knocking down threes. I mean, he just played an overall game tonight. And he always had confidence, but, you know, it felt like he was in the zone tonight, you know, and it was good to see that. And, you know, he controlled the game for us, majority of it, and was able to get everybody good shots and got himself into scoring opportunities, you know, only 2 turnovers, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. I mean, that's a full game, you know, so we're going to need that from him tomorrow and going forward, and if we want to be a successful team.
Kevin, you guys had 6 players scoring double figures. You guys had 29 assists, and then you guys played some pretty competitive defense as well to beat a Raptors team that is kind of like, you know, a good matchup for you guys in terms of the players they have, the way they play defense. So does that all just make this win and hitting 5 straight against this team feel even better?
Yeah, I mean, this is a championship organization, and you respect how they approach the craft every day. And you know Nick Nurse is going to have them prepared. They got a lot of young guys that are, I'm sure, run through a wall for Nick. And, you know, so to come in here and beat them midday game, you know they're going to play hard on defense, run their sets hard. And we had to match that intensity and find energy, you know, especially being on the road. So I'm proud of how we did that. And so, yeah, this is a great one. I mean, we respect this team, and this team is beating some good teams. And even though they're young, so they're well coached and they play hard every possession. So I feel like this is a good win for us.
Hey, Kevin, just what'd you see out of Blake today with the double-double and the 3-point shooting he gave you guys?
Just the confidence, you know, teams are going to leave him wide open in a corner like that. And he's shooting it with confidence, not hesitating. And as far as the dirty work, you know, we expect that out of Blake, you know, and we got a lot of bigs that come in and contribute in different ways. And Blake is unique in how he can stretch the floor, run the offense, and score from the post. So we need him to stay confident, especially shooting the 3-pointer. But everything else he's been on point with.
Quick one for you. You spoke of the dirty work. You took a charge. Blake approached you about blue collar boys.
Yeah, he told me to put my hard hat on in the locker room after the game. So I did one of these. And I feel like I'm a part of the crew, him and Patty. But I told him I took a charge and almost got a concussion because I ran into him, you know, so I guess I was in his way. But those are plays that, you know, Blake inspires us with those type of plays, and it's contagious for sure.
What kind of challenge you're curious about seeing this move of Chicago's team tomorrow? What kind of challenge?
You got, you know, 3 elite level scorers from all areas, you know, and one at the big man position. Tough to stop. And then you got a point guard in Lonzo who can orchestrate it all, you know. So we got our work cut out for us. They got a nice bench, well coached, great crowd. Another test for us.
I got more cool vision.
Blake, raise your hand.
Barnes, from what you saw from Scotty today, can you just talk about the things he does outside of scoring that helps the Raptors win? And is that at all rare for a gas league?
Is it rare?
Oh, for a rookie. Yeah, I mean, I think he just like, from what I can tell, and just watching some of their other games, he just first of all, he's like body wise NBA ready, and confident, and can score, in a variety of ways. But yeah, I do love that he like sets hard screens, rolls, rebounds, switches on to different people. He has like those intangibles, so he's going to be good for a long time.
Hey, Blake, just what could you say about James's performance in the fourth quarter? It seems like he really hit some key shots that put it away for you guys.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, that's what he does, and he's been working hard. Really getting himself into shape, and when he's at that level, he's just like he makes us go. We as a team can go to a different level. So especially down the stretch, when the game's tight, he's got the ball in his hands. He's making the right decisions. It's a game changer for us.
Hey, Blake, you guys had 6 different guys scoring double figures, and then you guys had 29 assists tonight. For a while, Steve was saying that the offense was behind the defense. Are you sensing that the offense is starting to catch up, and what's been working so you guys have been able to move the ball so well against a scrappy Raptors team? They're tough to score on.
Yeah, they play really good defense. I think it's our pace. That paired with just becoming more and more comfortable, but our pace has been much better. I mean, in the times where we really separate, or we really put some points on the board in a row, it's because we're flying around. Sometimes it's defensively, we get some stops and we get out and run, but even in the half court, we're moving, we're flying. There's no really like catch, hold, and look. It's like it's just a continual movement. And it's just tough to guard because the ball will always find James and Kev. The ball always finds the best players, but the ball also finds energy. And I think we have sort of embraced that, especially these last, call it 4 or 5 games, maybe. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Hey, Blake. I'm curious. This is twofold. In James's case, could you tell that he was getting more confident getting to the rim as the game was going on, especially in that fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think he. I think we kind of talked about it at halftime, and also Kev talked to him about it. I think just be aggressive. Let his aggressiveness going to the basket be sort of the way he facilitates. I think sometimes he was like trying to facilitate a little too much too early, which is never a bad thing. And he was getting us good shots, but when he's aggressive, then the defensive focus has to shift. So, I think he's finding a great balance lately.
And Patty Mills, is his application official now in this hard hat club of yours?
Who's that?
Patty Mills.
Yeah, Patty. Actually, Joe and I decided today we had to push the decision, but today Patty Mills is officially a BCB member.
Hey, Blake, I just had 2 quick ones for you. Are you anticipating on playing tomorrow with it being a back-to-back?
Yeah, I haven't had any conversations about it, but yeah, I mean, I'm always anticipating to play unless they tell me otherwise.
And Kevin said he also did the hard hat thing. What's up with his application status?
Yeah, we noticed and we appreciate Kevin's commitment to taking a charge. I don't know if he knows the application process takes a while. So while we do like him as a prospect, it's it's gonna be a bit of a go. He's got to jump through a few hoops before we just give it to him. There's no easy way to get into the Blue Collar Boys Club. Yeah, I mean, obviously they've kind of revamped. They already, at the end of the last season with Zach and Vooch, have a scoring punch there, but adding DeMar and Alonzo and they and Alex Caruso, they have some really good guys, some really good players who play hard. It looks like they enjoy playing with each other. So we'll look at the tape and we'll have to be good defensively. But we've had to be good defensively. We have to be good defensively every night, but they just present sort of a different type of defensive problem.
So overall, the group we've seen on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I think number one, just paying more attention to it, putting the required effort into it, and I think more than anything, the belief in our defense to know that gets us going offensively and that can fuel a fire that way. So just all round team defense, being active, having each other's back, and letting that momentum carry down the other side of the floor. So to keep a team like that to 103 points, we're making strides, and we just got to keep improving on that side. But I think the belief would be it.
Right after the game, Blake Griffin said that you've formally been accepted to the Blue Collar Boys. How good does that make you feel?
I was worried for a second there. They had the wrong email address or something because I hadn't got anything in my inbox. But it's good. It's good to know I've been accepted. I had put in my request, but hadn't heard back. So good to know.
What does that mentality do though for the team?
Yeah, I think in a serious way, it's probably something we can hang our hat on, and you can see the way that we play that way. When you see BG flying around the floor and diving on loose balls and putting his body on the line for the betterment of the team, the rest of the guys feed off that energy, and it can be infectious that way. So in a serious way, I think that and then Kevin goes and takes a charge as well, and other guys start doing that. So I think we're starting to find a little bit of identity on that end of the floor. So it's a good start with our first few games, but we just got to keep building on it, and hopefully we can believe in it more and become something we can hang our hat on.
Alex.
Hey, Patty, congrats on your acceptance into that, by the way. But you guys had that big run at the beginning of the third quarter and also at the end. Just what worked so well offensively for you guys in the third to get on that big run?
Yeah, mate, it's an exclusive group by the sounds of things. So I'm glad 10 games in that I've been accepted. But I think, like I said, it's such small things, but for us to be able to stay active on the defensive end and get deflections, gang rebound was another point in that third quarter, and then run out of that. We can find some rhythm in transition, and next minute we're shooting open shots and making them rotate more than what they have to. So, when in a simple way, it's those little 1%ers that end up, getting us going on the offensive end. So getting deflections, staying active, and then gang rebound on the defensive end.
Christian.
Hey, Patty, congrats on winning 5 straight. To beat a team like the Raptors, you guys had 29 assists. You had 6 different players scoring double figures, and the defense was also solid. I'm just wondering where you've seen the most growth in terms of specifically offensively, because Steve has said the offense has been behind the defense in certain respects, and it would appear tonight that it's starting to creep up and catch it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I don't think we can discredit that Toronto team too, and how young and athletic and enthusiastic they are on both ends of the floor. They fly around no matter who you are, and it's an exceptional defensive team down there. And I think tonight, there was the trust in each other to make the right play, give up a good shot for an even better shot. And I think that trust is building over time. But I think that, that's something that will come the more times we play and the more that we're able to be with each other. So, definitely that assist is, you know, the assist number is good to see, especially against a team like that.
Hey, Betty, from what you saw from Scotty Barnes today, can you talk about the competitiveness he brings to the court and the stuff he does outside of scoring? Is that at all rare for a rookie in the league?
Yeah, very impressive. You know, my first glimpses of him was probably that, how active he is and all the little things that, you know, obviously wouldn't show up on a stat sheet. But you know, the confidence is another thing. You know, preparing for this game and seeing what they go through. You know, he's got a lot of confidence, but big body, athletic. You know, can guard just about anyone. And horses the rebounds. I don't know how many rebounds he had tonight. But it was, you know, he definitely can fuel that team. But like I said, that's a very good young, enthusiastic team down there, and you know, it was good for us to get better.
Okay, thank you.